Hi everybody, I'm Bree the Plant Lady, and today I am coming to you with a cold weather PSA. Yeah, I think most of the country is dealing with this right now. Remember, it is still technically winter. We have been frost free here in central North Carolina, zone 7, for about the last 10 days. And now we're gonna get down into the mid-20s. I can't say I'm surprised. This is actually totally normal. And realistically, this can happen for at least the next 5 or 6 weeks. So this is probably the first of many videos where I go on a rant about how it's too early for summer vegetables. Stop skipping spring, everybody. If you're growing cool season vegetables like you should be, things like broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, kale, Swiss chard, mustard, cilantro, lettuce, spinach, arugula, all of those things are going to be completely fine. You don't have to do anything. Cover them. You don't have to do anything. They will tolerate mid-20s without skipping a beat. Now, if you jump the gun and you got started on your summer vegetables that have to grow during frost-free temperatures, you're going to have to bring them in your house because it's way too cold and frost cloth is not going to help. When I first moved to North Carolina from the Midwest, where we had nowhere near these kinds of temperature fluctuations, my boss hated spring, and I was so offended because, you know, like my birthday's in April and spring is when things come back to life. But 20 years here in North Carolina, and she is totally right. Spring is a fickle season because there really isn't any predictability with the weather patterns. We can go from like 90 degrees to 20 degrees. And as a home gardener, it's just not realistic to think that you're going to cover all of your plants, nor is it really necessary. Now, if you want to cover plants, Remay is the product that you should use. You can put like sheets and quilts out, but often what happens is if we have precipitation, that will actually get too heavy and then it'll actually break the branches of your plants. So it does more damage than good. You can also run sprinklers to coat your plants with some water, and then that'll form ice and help act as an insulation barrier. Now, I have a great blog on the Soil Cube page, which is linked in the description, that you can read more about my approach to, winter damage in general. Spring is definitely the hardest time to deal with because you do have plants that are starting to develop tender new growth. Generally speaking, my advice is just kind of let nature take its course, and actually if you let your plants get hardened off appropriately, they should in theory have the ability to bounce back once temperatures get regulated. Well, I hope this series of videos that I have created will be helpful for all of you navigating the temperature fluctuations of the spring season ahead. I predict this is not going to be the last time that we have a cold snap that causes some angst as gardeners. So be sure to just weigh the pros and cons. My best advice is trying to let nature take its course, but be logical and don't skip the spring season by jumping ahead to tender plants that are best grown in the summer, which are frost-free months. Well, I hope your garden comes out the other side of this cold snap without much damage. Happy gardening, everybody, and thanks for watching.